Hi and welcome to 2025 and the first episode of the year, and I thought what better way to start the year than taking my kit car out for a drive. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. However, it wasn't all bad either. Hi and welcome to Sam's Garage and welcome to 2025 and a massive hello to all of our new subscribers that joined us over the holidays. If you're new to the channel, you probably won't know that this is Tallulah. This is my kit car that I've had for 22 years, 23 years now in 2025. Unfortunately, I took it for the first run of the year yesterday and this is what happened. Okay, so I've got a bit of a problem. First run of the year and well, you can't see it now. Probably hear that the car is... Now, obviously, the audio is not particularly good, but I'll basically fill you in. What I found is smoke coming from the back here, from the back of the car. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering why I'm dressed up like an Arctic explorer, it is -2 degrees out here. And I'm sorry if this episode seems a bit of a rush, but I want to get a wriggle on because it's too cold to stand around. Anyway, there was smoke coming up from here. And a really strong smell of burning oil. Now, I thought I smelt something just before Christmas, and it seems that whatever issue it was sort of got worse. So I turned around, brought it back, and the smoke that's coming from the back here, I think, is from the breather on the crankcase. As you can work on the engine, or this side of the engine, from inside the passenger and driver area, what we're going to do is we're going to strip all this out, gain access to the manifold, and then take it off and find out what's going on with the breather. Now, I had an idea that something like this might happen, and a little while ago, just before Christmas actually, I bought the parts just in case I would need to replace it. The first sign of that burning oil meant that, you know, it could have been that as an issue and the parts weren't very expensive. So we're going to do this now. As I said, it is going to be a bit of a rush. We're going to use the time lapse because I need to move quite quickly, but I hope you enjoy it. Let's hopefully get this fixed. Right, so this is behind the driver's seat and you can see the exhaust system, the orange water line coming off the engine. What you're looking at in there is the breather. So that is wet. It's not as wet as I thought it was going to be. However, there is a lot of moisture here. I've got a bit of a concern that actually what we're looking at is potentially a main bearing on the end of the engine, and that's where the oil's coming from. That's a real problem because it's an engine out job and it would be really disappointing to do that at this stage because I've only just put the car back together and I'm enjoying driving it. However, we need to be safe. So the best thing to do is probably clean it, take it for a small drive, and then just see if we can see where it's weeping from. But I'm gonna have another look around now, just see if I can see anything that's slightly more obvious. Right, so while I was down here just sort of having a look around, I did notice that the tube that goes into the block where you've got your dipstick, it wasn't that it wasn't fitted properly, it just kind of had a bit of movement in it, and I'm a bit concerned that when the engine's running, it's building up pressure, it's actually seeping out of there. If you have a look in here, you can see that there it's wet. But actually I've been around the other side of the engine, and if it was being thrown off the main bearing, it would be going in all directions, but actually the other side of the engine is really dry. However, if you look here, this is the dipstick tube, obviously the dipstick rod's inside it, and it goes in just down there. And I actually moved it and there was quite a bit of play in it. I've now actually pushed it in properly, and if I try and move it from the top, you can see there is the tiniest amount of play, and I could probably do with pushing that down a little bit harder to get it in there properly. So it looks like first problem of 2025 is actually not much of a problem. It's just a loose pipe going into the block for the dipstick. So we're going to put it back together again and then go out for a drive. Right, I am really hoping it was that simple, but everything's come out, everything's gone back in again, seats are in nice and secure. I actually made an adjustment to the brackets on the seats while I was here, and the rubber trim that goes in the back of where the seatbelt comes through, that had come loose, so I've re-glued that into place. A couple of little jobs that I just need to do along the way. So time to put the tools away cut to road test. Well, the good news is, I think we fixed it. The gear shifter's a little bit funky at the moment, I don't know why, but it looks like the smoking issue's gone, which is great, so now we can just enjoy it and have some fun. So I am absolutely over the moon. It looks like the oil issue was just as simple as a loose tube. However, now what's very much on my mind is that the gear linkage is really playing up. I can feel that it's slightly loose and it is manageable, but it's the next thing I'm gonna have to go back and resolve. But it is what it is. I played with this the other day. I clearly didn't up tight enough when I put it back. So the car is going really, really well. There's no smoke. Let's take it for a drive in the countryside. I think the next trip out, I'm gonna have to wear a helmet because my face is absolutely freezing. But that's not gonna take the smile off my face. So this is one of my favourite circuits to do when I'm test driving the car. It starts off on the dual carriageway, but very quickly we're off in the countryside. Lovely little twists and turns, not particularly fast roads, but the scenery is absolutely amazing. I'll try and give you an idea of how fast this accelerates. I just couldn't get the traction there, but it was still getting through the gears pretty quick. Well, I'd call that a really successful run. It's been wonderful going out for a drive. It was only about 45-50 minutes, but it was so nice to start the year on this beautiful, clear day. Anyway, back to the workshop. And that's it. Sometimes it's not as big a headache as you think it's going to be. So thank you very much for watching the first episode of the year. If you haven't, please do like, subscribe and share. Obviously it helps us out here to try and grow the channel. Some of you with a more keen eye may have noticed that the Ninja powered kit car that I'm building or helping rebuild for my friend has got the airbox back on it, and this one has been progressing behind the scenes, but you'll see that in the next episode. Happy New Year to you all. Looking forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Cheers, bye.